My name is Lisa Roselle. I'm an associate lawyer here at Barriston. I have a solicitor's practice, so I practice real estate, corporate commercial, and wills and estates. I think I was most impressed with the ease of use. It was interesting how he could just type in a keyword and all of a sudden pretty much the first result was exactly what he was looking for. I really liked the drafting notes that you could pull up. So in my practice, I draft a lot of agreements, so agreements to purchase and sell assets, shares, and was able to quickly pull up just notes of various issues you should consider in drafting agreements. I think it's worked as a really good sort of starting point for me. So in law school, we were always taught start with a book. So pull out a book first, find sort of your starting point for what you need to know in terms of information. I have quite a few reference books on my desk that are really at my fingertips. I'm finding that practical law is sort of replacing those, particularly for my business law practice. So a lot of the times I will start with that. I'll say, okay, I'm drafting a transition services agreement. Let's take a look at the practical law drafting notes, see what I should be watching out for. I'm not really using it to replace our precedents. I do use mostly our firm precedents at this point, but I do like to go through it and make sure that we've covered off all of the most recent changes in the law and that our precedents are up to date. And there's sort of the confidence in knowing that other lawyers have used these and have vetted them and that they've worked in their practices and that they've covered off on the various legal issues that you need to watch out for. I would say I'm definitely far more efficient. I think I'm faster to get actually drafting because I can find quickly what I'm looking for in terms of a base and work from there. So I've probably cut at least an hour off the top of just figuring out where I'm going and what I need to watch out for in terms of drafting issues. I think efficiency is really of value to the clients. So we work in a field where sometimes we flat fee files, other times you are charged on an hourly basis. So the faster we're able to provide results to the client, the better they're going to be. Also means that we're dealing with the most up-to-date and current information that we could provide. So that's allowed us to, I think, be more competitive and to provide a better service to our clients. With increased efficiency comes increased productivity. So I've got more time to deal with other matters and I can complete tasks more quickly. I'm a fifth-year call, so at this point I still work very closely with partners in terms of drafting documents, and I have their review to look forward to on those documents. I think it's probably given me more confidence in providing documents to them because I know that I've covered off the bases, so I know that what I've got in there is what should be in there, that I'm not missing a huge issue or a huge risk to the client that needs to be covered. So it's definitely provided more confidence in that sense. So Joanne and I were working on a big asset and a share purchase, and there was one agreement that we needed to draft, a transition services agreement, that we didn't really have a good working precedent for. So fortunately we were able to find one in practical law, and it's funny because that was actually an agreement that we were complimented on by the other side. He said that we had done a good job of drafting that one, so that was good. It just showed that we were showing a good face to other law firms as well. We're still really using our own precedents and our sort of tried and true agreements that seasoned lawyers here have provided, but it definitely helps fill in gaps in areas where we might not have that. It keeps notes really close to your fingertips, so rather than me having to look through 4 or 5 documents to figure out how they address a certain issue, I can just look to the drafting notes and see it immediately. In terms of knowledge management, I do feel like I'm better able to compete with the Bay Street firms where they have a whole knowledge management team behind them. I think it's sort of increased my confidence there and knowing that we have basically just as well prepared a precedent as they do, that we've got as much resource behind us as they do. I was talking to one of the other associates, and she was saying, and I feel the same way, that there's definitely an increased confidence. So just knowing that we always have a starting point, even if somebody comes to you with something that you've never even thought to have to document, you can at least look to that first and see if there's something similar that you can start with. So I think it's definitely increased confidence. We've got a fairly large group of young associates here, and I think it has increased a lot of our confidence in drafting. It's really easy to use. It's really just a search bar like you would Google something. So instead of being a lawyer that Googles, you can actually just go to practical law and search it. And it just brings up a whole list of the various items that could be of use to you. They're sort of categorized in different things, so like a precedent document versus a commentary document, those sorts of things.